Hey everyone, it's Jeff. Start of the show here. I just wanted to add a little message about what happened with this episode. So we had been teasing that we were going to show the ROARBACON game from November 4th, in 2015. That was the one where the Blues had a major comeback, won the game 6-5. But unfortunately, we could not show the game on Facebook or YouTube. So we had to scrap it mid-show. As you know, we record live, so it was just kind of a mess last night as we were recording on Wednesday, August 17th. But we did scrape together a show, so we do still talk about the game. We talk about what happened and a couple of things we saw as we were recording before we realized we were going to be shut down for it. So just wanted to throw this out there as we open up the show, just so you know what's ahead. If you're watching the YouTube and Facebook videos, you're probably wondering, we're talking about comments coming in. We did get comments in the original video, just not obviously on these videos that you'll be watching. You won't be seeing them because the original videos were pulled down. So we're putting together everything we can. This one should not be pulled down. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with another show next week. We are planning on doing an actual Mystery Hockey Theater that will not be pulled down in 2 weeks of a game that's happened a long time ago. So should not be an issue. It's a game that's already on YouTube. So enjoy this show. We apologize that we were not able to provide you with what we originally promised, but we do provide you some content here related to hockey, beer, and everything you get from Let's Go Blues Radio. So thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Have you lost weight only to gain it right back after returning to your routine? Did your diet work for someone else but not you? Rockin' That ID Life helps you understand your genetic makeup to find a lifestyle that fits your needs. Together, you and RockinThatIDLife.com can focus on your health and meet your goals today. That's RockinThatIDLife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a proud sponsor of Let's Go Blues Radio. If you haven't heard, Center Ice Brewery beer is now exclusively available at beer stores around town, so make sure you pick some up on your next milk and eggs run. That's Center Ice Brewery. Please drink responsibly.
Hello, everybody. This has been an interesting start to the show. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 53 of Let's Go Blues Radio. This is the fully vaccinated, often imitated, but never duplicated. Frankly, my dear, we don't give a damn. The original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by RockinThatIDLife.com and by Center Ice Brewery. Are you trying to point to stuff?
Oh, I'm Bill and I are in the wrong squares.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Just a wonderful, wonderful show we got going on here, guys.
One more thing.
There we go. Okay, much better. I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah, this is your version of Keith Kachuk showing up to training camp way overweight.
Exactly. Yes.
You have a lot of work to put in, buddy.
Not a lot of live shows we've done recently. This has been a rough one to start, guys. I already forgot what I was saying here, but I'm sure it was important. We're broadcasting.
I should have done this in the chat, not
on Wednesday, August 17th, 2022. This is franchise episode number 371 all time. I'm Jeff Ponder, and believe it or not, by me there is Kurt Price and Bill Day. They are the prodigal sons, everybody. We'll be reliving the ROARBACON game from 7 years ago, but don't forget to find us on every social media platform. We are dual live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Actually, we are having an issue with Facebook, so we are only streaming on YouTube and actually on my personal Facebook. So enjoy that, folks. If you're watching me, if you're tuning in, yeah, find us on Facebook. Let's Go Blues Radio. That's usually where we stream our shows.
Kids.
Yeah. So hello to our live audience. Thanks for joining us. Gentlemen, I do have some news that I want to report right off the top of the show here. I have joined a new social media platform, and it is something that we have joked about, but I am officially on
TikTok.
TikTok. Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Wow.
Truth Social.
Oh,
I thought you were
that's
gonna,
iPhone only.
I was expecting you guys to make a grinder joke, but that's fine. No, I'm officially on TikTok because my niece, I was on vacation with my wife's side of the family, and we were sitting around one night. She's 10, and she said she kept begging me to make a TikTok, and I told her no. And we have this other thing going on where, like, I keep trying to get her to admit to other uncles that I'm her favorite uncle. So we made the agreement that if she went on TikTok and made a video talking about how I'm the greatest uncle, that I would make a TikTok channel. So of course she took me up on that. So now I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
It feels weird.
Have you posted anything yet?
No, I've not posted a thing.
Well,
but I'm
that
on it.
shouldn't
It's
feel
just
any different than.
No, it doesn't feel any different. It's just weird to like jump on there and just feel like I'm a kid, because it's like that's what it is. It feels very kiddie.
I was messing around with some video stuff like a year and a half ago or whatever, and I went on to TikTok just to kind of see how certain people did certain things. I was just playing around, and so I created an account for that. And so I guess I am on TikTok, but I don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I've been told that there's a lot of my family on there, and I'm just like, yeah, I doubt any of them do anything on there because I know I don't.
Instagram is kind of turning into TikTok,
in a way.
I mean, all the videos, and Facebook too, all the video shorts and everything. That's where people are kind of going. YouTube even has YouTube shorts.
They announced that, right? That's what their strategy is.
Right.
That's pretty crazy. I feel like if I get a TikTok account, everybody else will leave the platform just because I feel like I'm the cutting line.
He's a hello, fellow kids.
I'm reminded of Hans Moleman. Didn't he once dress up like a kid? They had him dress up like Bart. It was when, oh my gosh, it was something about Homer. I don't remember, but it was a Simpsons episode, and I'm reminded of Hans Moleman dressing up like a kid. I can imagine Bill Day doing that. Bill, it's been a while.
Yeah.
How've things been? How's the move?
Well, I mean, you can tell it's still a little messy behind me. Where I set up the podcast stuff tonight, so that progress, very, very slow progress. But yeah, we're finally through all of the real estate stuff. So apart from buying this house and selling my other house, I also, my sister and I unloaded our parents' house in the midst of everything. So it's been a little bit too much adulting and a little too much real estate, and I don't ever want to do it again. So we're going to be here a long, long time. So
yeah, we discovered a leak in our basement, and it's coming through the foundation. Found a pretty large crack, had to completely take out a lot of my drywall in the finished part. And so part of me sitting here like, I need to move. Like, I don't want to deal with this. I'd rather just get a new house. But now I'm like...
You just moved in, like, what was it, 3 or 4 or 5 years? What was it?
4 years ago, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
4 years ago, something like that. But it's just me freaking out for no reason, right? Like, that's your way your mind goes. Like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just going to get a new house. But then I think about moving, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm good.
I think half of St. Louis found leaks in their basement over the past month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with all the rain we've had. Yeah,
that's I was totally expecting that with the new house. We are on a we're basically on like the backside of the bluff. I'm now in the Glen Carvin area. And our house is on a massive hill. It drops probably 75 to 100 feet from the top of our property to the back. So lots and lots of water coming through with all this rain. And so the Judy Creek runs right at the back of my property line. So right down not
Right
not
down
too
from the
far from
cabin?
the cabin.
The cabin
Yeah,
at Judy Creek
we
is a fantastic little
yeah
bar restaurant.
we get to hear all their live music every Saturday night for
Ah,
free.
there you go.
So,
Nice.
but yeah,
Sorry, I'm making a note right now on Facebook alerting people that they can watch us on YouTube because Facebook is not working. So that's what I'm
Damn
doing. So
Facebook.
vamp for me.
Damn Facebook, bunch of bitches. Sammy Blais, right after the Blues won the cup. Fuck you, Boston, bunch of bitches. I'm surprised I didn't get more play. I mean, I did it among Blues circles, but I wonder if Boston media picked up on that at all, or the socials in Boston picked up on it, because you know how Boston fans are. They'd be,
what the fuck?
They'd be all over themselves.
All right, okay, I've got that in. So Cat Church jumps in. Oh, good, I didn't miss the basement news roundup. No, you did not. This is summer, folks. Come on, give us some slack.
My
Not a lot of
basement was
hockey to
fine.
talk about.
My basement was fine. So that's my addition.
There you go.
Before we get into beers, we could talk about real quick what I posted earlier today on Twitter, that Podcast Magazine has featured us at Let's Go Blues Radio in their sports section of on their off the charts top podcast picks of the month for Podcast Magazine for August of 2022. And they didn't contact us, or we didn't contact them or anything. They just picked us and put us out there. So that was kind of cool. We didn't pay for that or anything.
It's got to be because of some awesome summer shows that have been done.
Awesome summer shows, and the fact that our show is widely listened to right around the world.
Yeah,
who knows?
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. No, thank you to them. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you. Podcastmagazine.com.
Oh, so I just noticed I am officially streaming on my Facebook page. So if you're friends with me, you can hop over there and watch the video. But like I said, it's not posting to Let's Go Blues Radio's Facebook. So anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, like you said, official beers of the episode. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app, which I have not been using. And I was just in Panama City trying a bunch of different kinds of beers. So I probably should have been using it. But I promise by hockey season, I'll get back into the groove of using it. But Bill, why don't you start us off?
All right. I have, wrong way. I'm in bad form already. Look at this. Look at this. I can't even figure out reverse negative.
You got the glass to match the can. Nice.
Yeah. The Yeti the Yeti tulip glass, peanut butter Yeti tonight. Picked up there's a pack of Yetis that is available. Was available at
isn't it
Total Wine.
Isn't it officially a gaggle of Yetis?
I believe so. Right. It's not a flock of moosin.
No, it's a gaggle of Yetis.
No, it's a gaggle of Yetis. So, it's I've always loved Yeti, and 32 ounce varieties. So this one's the peanut butter, and it's pretty peanut buttery. This gives Absence of Light a good run for its money.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Because there is a term for a group of Yetis. It is called a flurry.
I love that.
Flurry is FLURRY. Yeah, flurry. It's a flurry.
The fact that I think that people think there's one running around, right? It's just one Yeti,
right?
Yeah. Now they're assuming there's more than one. I mean, you got to assume there is more than one. You can't just have one. Now, how did it get here? So,
yep, agree. Kurt, go ahead.
I've had a very active evening, and I did not grab a beer for some reason. I've been sipping on this Prairie Farms sweet tea, which is
Prairie Farms remembers.
Yeah. I might break out a beer later from the fridge behind me, but I've been sipping on that sweet tea after dinner. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm manning it up with the sweet tea.
Nice.
Gotta be
Matt,
sweet tea too.
Matt Harris has is coming in hot, folks. He says a collection of goalies is also called a flurry.
Love it. You can go
what's up,
alliteration into a gaggle of goalies.
A gaggle
That's
of
fun to
goalies.
say. Yeah.
There you go. Or a goalie gaggle.
I think to me, pretty much anything is a gaggle. If I don't know what the term is, I like to.
It's a
I like
fun
the name gaggle.
word.
It's funny. It's funny. Sure.
My beer is something, again, I mentioned I was just in Panama City Beach, which was a great time. I picked up a bunch of different beer. There was a lot of good ones, but this was the only one that made it back to St. Louis. Sweetwater Brewing Company, Extra Pale Ale, 420. It's okay. It's not my favorite that I had down there. There was a I'm drawing a blank on it. It was called like 301 Brewing, 301A maybe. And it was really good. They had some a Beach Blonde Ale that was really good, and a couple other ones. So, but yeah, this one was not my favorite, but I had one left. I was like, I'll use it for the summer show.
There's currently a review in the Cardinals Rockies game. A Dinkinger level bad call at first base. Actually went the Cardinals' way, but review is going to overturn it here. Called the guy the run out at first base, and the ball was like out of Goldschmidt's glove by like a foot and a half. So
can it be a Dinkinger level bad call this early? Doesn't it have to be in the postseason, or at least in the final weeks of the season?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it helped cost the Cardinals the World Series that year was a pretty big deal. Helped cause because Porter misses a ball, he crosses up Worrell. Right, they get crossed up, and then Jack Clark doesn't come up with that pop fly foul ball by the dugout. So they allowed a couple hits. So they could have still gotten out of it, but they kind of botched that.
So we'll go ahead and move on, talking about some historical stuff. Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STO Blues History account, August 17th, 2022. Nothing happened, so we'll just go with 3 years ago tonight. There were some drunk Blues fans still celebrating the Blues winning the Cup. How about that?
Yes.
I might have been one of them. Who knows?
Did you read the Matt Harris's I gaggled a goalie one time in college? Best spring break ever?
He is really making a pitch for comment of the show. He's really trying.
He just got a season ticket, so he's in a good mood.
Matt Harris has season tickets?
He just posted update. Just got my season tickets. You got to put it on live chat, not top chat.
I see it. I'm saying he has season tickets. I'm shocked by that.
Season tickets to the Coyotes at ASU?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's the college team down there.
It's gonna be expensive.
I don't know. I'm sure he'll update us. Please update us, Matt. We are dying to know. So also, we all want to add while we're in this segment that we're going to be watching that really awesome game coming up here in a minute. I want to give a shout out to our friend Mr. Blues, STL Blues History, because he was the one that supplied me with this game. So I was not able to find it anywhere. Again, I've said this before. Love that this guy is my neighbor. I just messaged him and said, "Hey, I'm looking for this game. Any idea where I can find it?" And he just responded with, "Yeah, it's on a flash drive sitting on my front porch. Come get it." And I'm like, God, you're the best.
It's amazing.
So, very cool.
The
also, did you see that Stan Fischler mentioned him in his column?
No.
He gave him a huge shout out. I need to share that link. But he said that basically because of him, there's a lot of great history and he called him out specifically, called him by name, which since Stan Fischler did it, I'm going to do it. His name is Tim. He called Tim out by name and said that, he's in St. Louis. He goes by STL Blues History. He does a great job. I'll have to find it and find the link, but pretty cool that one of the best hockey historians of all time gave Tim a kudos.
If I owned the Blues, I would create a St. Louis Blues Hall of Fame, and I would hire Tim to help fill that out, or to run that, to be a executive or whatever, to have a say in how that's set up.
Would
because
be nice.
I think he has so much information, and
it's ridiculous. Not just Blues too. He's got loads of information from old magazines, old game reports. I mean, it's crazy.
The fact the Blues don't have a Hall of Fame is kind of a crime.
Yep. That's been an ongoing conversation on this show.
Because I mean, there are some teams that have some colorful histories, but the Blues are right up there. And the number of great players that have come through this town at one time or another, even for a cup of coffee, holy cow! I mean,
yeah,
it's nuts.
Well, unfortunately, guys, we're gonna get into some sad news here before we get into break and before we get into our big game talk. A couple people passed away that we want to make sure we mention. First of all, we mentioned a couple weeks ago on one of our live shows. I think it was our Free Agent Frenzy show. Jeff Burton, a great host over at 105.7 The Point. If you've ever listened to The Point in your life, you have heard this man talk. He's been at every Point Fest that I can think of, part of the Rizzuto show, Jeff, Trish and Tom, and he's just constantly filled in. Unfortunately, he passed away on Monday morning from prostate cancer. He found out 17 months ago that he had it, was unable to come away with the victory there. Again, hosted many shows, member of the Rizzuto show, the highest rated show in St. Louis right now. Also was the host of Last Minute Blues podcast with friend of the show, Donnie Fandango and Jamie Rivers. Obviously a longtime Blues fan. He was actually born the same year the Blues came into existence. And just a really good advocate for the sport. I know I've told stories about him on Twitter and on this show, but unfortunate to see that one of St. Louis's sons, a lifelong Blues fan, a guy who knows the game, and then just a guy who was beloved in the city, has unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, it's just absolutely gut-wrenching, to lose, a guy who, was so beloved by so many in this town, and just heartbreaking. Way too young.
Yep. And I think we mentioned a few weeks ago when we first brought it up, it was right after, that they announced it, that he was basically took a turn for the worse and was released back home to spend time with his family while he could, right? So he knew that the end was pretty close. So it sucks. I mean, everybody knows somebody who has been hit with cancer, right? So it's an unfortunate, part of life. And until there is a cure.
I was thinking about this because they've been doing on the Rizzuto show. They've had like a Remembering Jeff segment both yesterday and today. Played some of his best clips, and just hearing him talk, it got me thinking: will there ever be a bigger worldwide celebration than the day it's announced that they found a cure for cancer?
Oh, well, have you seen I Am Legend?
Yeah, yes, fortunately.
Because that was the premise of that movie. They found a cure for cancer that turned everyone into vampire zombies, apparently. So,
yep. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. But
right.
I mean, you got to think that if it's run through the works and it's happening, we've cured cancer.
Sure,
that's gonna be a week-long party across the world.
I mean, you would think eventually, someday, right? I mean, with medical advances, just over time, eventually it's going to happen. I think the difficult thing with it is that cancer just morphs so quickly, and there's so many different versions, and it's just hard to nail down. So hopefully someday.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's so anyone listening who was touched by Jeff, I'm truly sorry for him. I mean, it's for his family, for his friends. Again, Donnie Fandango, good friend of the show. Very sorry about what happened with your co-host. And again, maybe you're not from St. Louis. You maybe never have heard of Jeff Burton. But if you've heard the Last Minute Blues podcast, you've definitely heard of Jeff Burton. Very good guy, unfortunately. We will remember him fondly and remember him well. He's going to be somebody who people reference on St. Louis radio for many, many, many years to come. Unfortunately, another one passed away. We had Tommy Woodcock. He was the original medical trainer for the Blues franchise. He passed away at the age of 89. He had 1,362 games with the Blues. In those days, medical trainers also served as the equipment manager. And there was a nice little piece written about him by one of our friends, Chris Pinkert, with the St. Louis Blues, on their site. He basically talked to Gary Unger, who's, as a lot of people know, he's achieved the NHL's Iron Man streak of 914 games, which now sits as fourth all time, but was first. He said basically there's no way he would have achieved that without Tommy Woodcock by his side and able to help him reach that goal. So, and again, Chris Pinkert in that article, something he wrote that I thought was very nice to read. He says, quote, in between treating players for bumps and bruises and deciding when to call the team doctor, the trainers also ordered gear, sharpened skates, taped sticks, and helped carry hockey equipment from city to city. Back in those days, that's what these guys did. So very important part of Blues history. Unfortunately, we lost another important part of Blues history today last week with Tommy Woodcock passing.
The Blues are, I think, I'm not sure if this is a common practice with a lot of teams, but it's either the equipment manager or the team medical trainer, whoever, or maybe both, because they had the same job for a little bit. The Blues have only had like 3 equipment managers, something like that. Something it's like a crazy low number, because it's Bert Godin, right, equipment manager for a long time. And Tommy Woodcock, a long time, right? So I think they may have only had like 3, something like that. It is crazy.
And unfortunately, I was gonna save this one for last, but we're talking about some things like this. We'll go ahead and talk about Oilers fan Ben Stelter. He passed away with brain cancer. You might remember him from the Oilers' most recent postseason run. He was a 6-year-old, became fairly famous in that time. He skated to center ice for anthems, ceremonies a few times. He became very friendly with Connor McDavid. I'm sure you've seen pictures online. I saw people, not even hockey fans, tweeting pictures of him, R.I.P. Ben. So he became a very beloved figure of sports in general. So unfortunately, we did lose Ben this summer as well.
He had what Layla had.
Mm-hmm.
And
she had a great post on Instagram about him. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. And she was able to beat it, and unfortunately he was not. And it just sucks, man. When I mean, anytime somebody passes away from an illness or disease like this, it just sucks. But it just hits different when it's kids, man. It's just, I mean, they're not that old. They didn't have a chance, to live their lives like most people get to. It sucks.
So going into break, guys, we normally don't do this, but we've lost some very important members of the hockey community and just St. Louis community in general. So we'll go to break here, guys. But before we do, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for Jeff Burton, Tommy Woodcock, and Ben Stelter. And on the other side of this, you'll hear from RockinThatIDLife.com, as well as we'll get into some game talk. Every beer league hockey night, I grab my hockey bag and sticks and throw them in the trunk of my car. And the very next thing I do, I mix up a boost of energy courtesy of RockinThatIDLife.com. It's formulated to break up its delivery in 3 ways, which helps me get through all 3 periods of hockey. Phase 1 provides a rapid onset of energy, concentration, alertness, and motivation. By period 2, I'm receiving a dose of sustained energy, increased focus, metabolism, cognitive function, performance, and feelings of well-being, which I need with the way I play. In Phase 3, I'm getting fatigue protection without jitters and crash, an elevated mood, and a reduction of fluid retention to help me make the big play when it counts. This same triphasic approach helps me when I drink it during work hours or simply just for a pick-me-up when I need it. Try one of the 4 energy flavors by visiting RockinThatIDLife.com, but make sure to email Dustin at RockinThatIDLife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you to receive an additional 10% off your order. That's RockinThatIDLife.com. You like that one?
That Dustin Brown gift? How does that? I've seen that before. How does that even happen? as many times in sports as I've played in my life, which has been nonstop, and how many water bottles I've drank, I've never drank out of the damn thing upside down or tried to and squirted water out the bottom of it. Ever.
I
don't
have
know.
no
How is
idea.
that possible? How does that
I
happen?
have no idea. Bill, you ever done that before?
Probably. I've got some pretty stupid shit in my life.
Yeah, I never understood that either. I saw there's one from him, I think, in practice where he like mimicked it, and it was like a joke. I didn't know until like a year later that he actually did that, and that's what he was making fun of. I was like, oh my God, like, how is that even possible? How are you that stupid? So again, guys, we are going to get into talking about some Blues hockey back from November 4th, 2015, my wife's birthday, by the way. 27th birthday, I think, at this time. I remember this very vividly because we talked about this game and it was very impressive what the Blues did. But why it's famous, which we have up on the screen right now if you're watching. And if you're listening on the podcast, you will still enjoy this. But I do recommend checking out the YouTube video. It's a lot more fun to watch the game with us. So the tweet came after the second period. Well, that was something. Our Blues roar bacon with 3 second period goals to tie the game 5-5. And they instantly tried. Well, they didn't retract it. They didn't delete it. They said, well, I don't know where that came from or whatever they said. But I believe it was Pinker that did that, right? Was it not?
I don't.
Was it?
It was on Instagram. It was Instagram.
No,
right?
I thought it was. Oh God, what's her name?
Elise.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Elise Butler.
Maybe
I thought it was
Elise. We had the game pulled. We are not allowed to show that game for some reason, even though it's not under contract with NBC no longer. Nor is it a game that is available on streaming on ESPN Plus. So for some reason, we are not allowed to show that game. Kurt, I'm going to post this link here in our Slack.
Yeah. Show me the link because I can't find the video.
There you go. That should be it. So hopefully you can hear us. Hopefully you're watching. I'm also posting this on the Jeff Ponder Facebook, so hopefully you'll be able to see that as well. But yeah, we had the game pulled. We are not allowed to show it for some reason, which is very unfortunate because this was a fun game to watch. I got a slight warning about it with STL Blues History. He said he tried to post it on YouTube and they would not let him. And so we thought, live it'll be fine, but I don't know. Again, I have no idea why we can't watch this game. It's crazy to me that it's not available anywhere else. It's not available on NHL's website, not available on NHL TV, not available on ESPN, not available at NBC Sports, but for some reason we can't post it. So there's some copyright issues. But anyway, so we'll talk about the game and then we'll wrap up the show. And if you're podcasting, we apologize that we promised all this and nothing came to be. This will all be put together for you. So yeah. Sorry, fellas. This was supposed to be a fun night. Didn't turn out that way.
Okay, I put the tweet out there. So
it is what.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's copyrighted stuff, but it is interesting how much stuff is out there. The NHL traditionally lets you put videos, games out there for the most part without throwing a stink because they want their content out there and shared. But for some reason, and we've done this before just with older games, but for some reason this particular game is a problem. So we'll do this again with a different game. Maybe we can check to make sure we have permission to do that next time.
Yeah, again, I have no idea what caused this, why that is that this game in particular is not able to be shown. But whatever. We'll try to figure that out for future shows like this. But truly unfortunate because that's a fun one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say let's try to get a Dan Kelly episode so that we can all sit here in awe.
Just listen. Yeah,
and just listen.
He
shoots his cars.
I think I got 1 or 2 of those on my YouTube, so we'll have to pull those off.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
I was just gonna say I love watching the Doug Gilmour era playoff series versus Minnesota. You've got one or two of those games on there, and that
Versus Toronto.
back when Minnesota, the North Stars.
I know.
Don Beaupre.
Beaupre.
I was just thinking I'm sorry. I was thinking. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll have to watch one of those games. That'd be fun.
Yeah, the what was it, 92, 93 when he did it at Spinorama and scored backhand on Joseph?
Yes.
That sounds right.
That clinched the series, did it not?
Maybe that was 94. Yeah.
That clinched the series, right? I think.
Yep.
It was overtime.
So in
surely
this game,
that's not going to get blocked.
No, if it's on my YouTube, I don't see why it would. Again, this one was just a strange anomaly. I don't know if it's like a time frame, if like NBC Sports or the NHL is just like you can't post games from within the last 10 years. I don't know. Might be something worth looking into.
I don't think that's true either, though, but we'll see.
Well, I thought this would be no issue, but apparently it is. So in this game, we'll go ahead and break it down a little bit. So we watched a little bit of it, and of course we remember some of it as well. Marco Dano scored early. Blues tied it up. Alex Steen came in and scored, but then Andrew Shaw got a penalty shot and scored on Brian Elliott. Elliott started this game. Did not look good, especially on that penalty shot. Gave him stick side and then just let him have it. Right, Bill? Showed stick side and then didn't cover it after once he shot it.
Yeah. No, he got his backwards momentum going a little too much and gave up the post.
Yep. So then I said Hurricanes because I looked at Tuvo Teravainen's name.
Turbo Teravainen.
Turbo. His name's Turbo.
Turbo Teravainen.
Turbo Teravainen.
He was in that movie, right?
Just an FYI, there are full ESPN games on YouTube posted by people from this season, from this last season. So whatever, I don't know why.
I don't get it.
Single out one game you can't do.
And it's a big game that Blues fans love. I don't know. I don't get it. We've said this a million times already. I don't get it. It makes no sense.
Is it because Wednesday night rivalry night was trademarked or something? It's ridiculous.
It could have been like the Chelsea Dagger song, maybe. Are
there other Blackhawks games on YouTube?
I don't know. I'm just
I
spitballing.
don't know. Maybe the Fratellis. Maybe the Fratellis are real dicks about their content.
Maybe. Very possible.
They're not going to allow any of their songs to get played without royalties.
Wouldn't be surprised if they're dicks. They let the Blackhawks play their song all the time.
I'd be curious to see if we turn the volume down completely, if it would catch it.
I don't want to test it.
No, I don't either. I'm just thinking out loud.
Maybe. Who knows?
Anyway.
And so Teravainen scores, then Robbie Fabry for the Blues, pre-injury, scores, and then Seabrook and Kane add two more at the end of the period. So after one period, the Blues were down in this game, 5-2. And so I remember turning this game off at intermission, being pissed and saying, we don't have to watch this, to my wife, who was her birthday. But then we turned it back on, and I'm glad we did. But definitely a very annoying first period. So then the Blues came
5-2.
5-2. Yep. Yeah. So then the Blues came back. They roar baconed back, and Alexander Steen, Jay Bouwmeester, yes, his first of the season, and David Backes all scored to put the Blues back in a tie, 5-5. No goals in the third period after 10 in the first two.
Which I remember being shocked because I'm like, we're in for a hell of a third period.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
It's going to be a 9-7 final.
Yeah. Yeah. And then no goals in the third. I was like, what the hell kind of game is this?
Yep. And then Vladimir Tarasenko at 3:54 of the overtime period scores. Blues win this one 6-5 in a ridiculous fashion. Again, known as the ROARBACON game, but just an unbelievable game. Unfortunately, we could not sit here and watch it tonight. But so we will talk. Actually, you know what? We need to take a break. We haven't heard from our friends over at Center Ice Brewery, so let's hear from them really quick, and then we'll get into the rest of this game.
Do you like hockey? No, of course you do. Do you like beer? Of course you do. Are you 21? Well, let's hope so. If you answered yes to all of those questions, run on down to your local beer distributor and pick up a 2-4 of Old Arena Lager, the Beauty IPA, or any other delicious hockey-themed beer from Center Ice Brewery. That's right, Center Ice Brewery beer is available at various beer stores around town, so check around for the one closest to you. That's Center Ice Brewery. Let's go Blues!
Austin Lynch, one of our moderators, has joined in the new YouTube show and says maybe do it in Discord one night and do it like a Discord-only episode to promote the Discord. Not a bad idea.
Thought about that, actually, while the shit was hitting the fan.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good
Why
idea,
not TikTok?
Austin.
Why not TikTok? Right.
Why not?
Or Twitch.
We got an account for
Twitch.
it now.
Do a Twitch game. Twitch show.
So in this game, again, the game ends, shots in this game, Chicago 43, Blues 29, face-off, Chicago won 55%. That number always blows my mind. It was 55% to 46%. So that's weird. It's 101%, right? It's obviously percentages being rounded up and down. Power plays in this game, the Blackhawks 1 for 5, Blues 1 for 2. Goalies in this game. We mentioned Brian Elliott, 4 goals against on 15 shots. So he got pulled after the penalty shot goal. And then Jake Allen comes in, and then he gets pulled pretty quickly just to get Elliott back in because Allen played the night before. And he just continues to look terrible. So they put Allen back in. He gives up 1 goal on 28 shots. Corey Crawford on the night, 6 goals against on 29 shots. So not a good night for the goaltenders.
No. But, that's what this game's all
backup
about.
for the Blackhawks at this point.
Oh, that's a great question.
Have to pull it up.
Hang on. I'm looking. Backup goalie. So their backups this season, that would have been, Scott Darling.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Good old Scott Darling.
I remember the Crawford Darling controversy for a while there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was this season.
Darling went. Yeah.
I believe that was this season, yeah.
Yeah. And then Darling goes to Carolina and forgets how to goalie.
Yep. Crawford, 58 games played that season. Darling, 29. So he came in pretty strong there. And his record, 12-8-4. Not that great, but his numbers were good. .915 save percentage.
He had a nice run at one point.
Yeah, he did. Didn't
and
he?
He played for. He went to Carolina in 17-18. So he played another year in Chicago. And the next year was the year he had better numbers. He had .924 in 16-17 and a .238 GAA. So that's the year that was the year of the controversy. Him and Crawford.
So let's also remember the end of the season, how it worked out for both teams. The Blues took second in the Central Division, 107 points, lost to the San Jose Sharks in 6 games of the Western Conference Final. But more importantly, the Chicago Blackhawks finished third in the Central, 103 points, and they lost to the St. Louis Blues in 7 games of the Western Conference quarterfinal. We all like to joke this is what broke the Blackhawks.
Yes.
I mean,
Troy Brouwer, former Blackhawk, with the Chelsea dagger.
And and wasn't it Seabrook who hit both posts behind Elliott?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Wakey.
Yep. Wakey. It's funny the fallout from the ROARBACON game, the fun that was had. there was the Blues did a T-shirt contest. Remember that? And
Oh, yeah.
like a day or two after, they asked fans to submit designs for a T-shirt, and then they'd pick the winner, or they'd pick a few different designs, and they put the designs out there for fans to vote, and then fans would vote on one, and they put that on a T-shirt and sell it in the shop at the arena. And I submitted more than a few designs, and I remember the ones that they picked for the fans to vote on. There were a couple of good ones. There were a couple like, what? Why would you pick that? And then the fans voted, and they picked a kind of a lame one, I thought. But I was hosed.
As usual. Kurt gets hosed.
I was hosed. I had a better design than the one that won. I had a couple.
So Matt Harris did say, welcome to YouTube jail. No, it's a 3-strike system. Luckily, this was just a warning. If we do it again, we get suspended a week. And after that, I think we get taken down. So we're good. We're good. But just got to be more careful, more selective of what games we pick. I think maybe the key for me, and this is for nobody else, this is just for me, for a mental note, maybe try posting them first on my channel. And if it instantly gets blocked, then I know that we can't do the game. So that's, I think, could be the way I test it from now on. Because when you upload, it doesn't give you a strike. It just says like, hey, you can't do that. We're pulling it. Okay, fine. But when you do it live, I think that's when you get dinged.
That's how we got dinged years ago. And I don't know why. It was wrongfully. It was something in the title. Some bot, it triggered a bot, and they shut us down. We couldn't get the show back. We had to create a brand new YouTube account. This was years ago. And that was a 1 strike and you're out. I don't know what the hell.
That was weird. We contacted YouTube multiple times, and we never got anywhere with it.
Well, I finally got a hold of a guy on Twitter, and he actually helped us out, but we didn't get that account back for months.
Yeah.
And like the next week we had another channel created, and you're told, you're warned, do not create another channel. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. You took us down for no reason. So we're going to make a new channel.
Yeah. As soon as I created the show, because I created the show for that we were getting ready to go live, and then all of a sudden, boom, we hadn't even started the show yet, I don't think. And it was like getting ready to go, and it wouldn't start, so we were suspended. Like, what the hell happened?
Yep, made no sense.
Something to do with the
we got ogle-torped.
And okay. Speaking of like getting shut down, remember everyone wanted to sell their own ROARBACON shirts after this.
Oh yeah,
because they had the Blues at the contest and people putting out shirts in their own shops, and the Blues had those all shut down.
Mm-hmm.
They went around. Nobody could sell ROARBACON shirts, which I thought was horseshit.
Yeah,
horseshit. Because fans on social media took that error and made it viral and made it a thing, right?
Yep.
And for them to shut down that and not let anybody sell ROARBACON shirts, that was a dick move.
I think the Blues, I feel like they've lightened up a lot the last couple of years, but man, this was in the era. This was the year after I stepped away from the media. They were very stingy about a lot of stuff like this, and maybe they still are. We just don't see it as much. But doing a show about the St. Louis Blues and knowing some of the people we know, there was a lot of this going on at that time, and it was just, come on, like. Let us be a little free as fans. Like, we're part of this team as well.
I'm all about protecting your brand. I totally get it. You don't want somebody taking your logos and just using them willy-nilly. That's why you won't see any. Well, you don't see any full Blue Notes on this show here. You see something in the background. You see a hint of it, but you can't. That's not going to trigger anything. But our logo doesn't have any Blue Notes in it or any. It's all us. It's all ours.
Mm-hmm.
So unlike some people use a Blue Note in their logo and they get away with it. But
well, apparently we were told too that "Let's Go Blues" is something we shouldn't use. But
that's I will.
That is opinion. That is not fact. That's the way I see it.
That's not, and I don't. I mean, I know that brands will protect. Their trademarks and things, but and rightfully so. But that "Let's Go Blues," that's just something the crowd cheers. It's not. I don't know. I guess they can trademark it, but if they haven't,
which they haven't.
And we've been doing it for 10 years. I mean, it's not like we're a startup.
No,
so we're going to the 11th season coming up. So I mean, whatever.
Well, folks, I think so. We'll go ahead and say that next week, I've actually got an interview. Well, I already conducted the interview, but I had quite the. You know what? It's a funny story, so I'll go ahead and tell it. Since we weren't able to watch the game, let's hear a funny story. So again, I went away. I mentioned the basement leak earlier. I also mentioned went away on vacation right before I left for vacation, and I haven't even told Kurt and Bill this yet. I conducted an interview actually at the Chesterfield Ice Rink, the Maryville Ice Center. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Sorry if anyone's listening who's a part of that great rink. I actually did an interview there with a couple of members of the Blues Warrior team, which is the Army, Navy, Marines, National Guard. Basically, anybody in the military service can join. It's a Blues team that travels to tournaments. They have 4 different levels of play, and it's a great organization. Something great the Blues do for our veterans. And so I met up with 2 of the guys. I interviewed them. We had a great time. They showed me all their equipment. So that was the day before I left. So I took the memory card out. I stuck it on my desk right here, right on my desk. And at some point, my cat decided to jump up on my desk and knock stuff onto the floor. Usually not a problem, except I've got a basement leak. So when I got home, there was, the tiniest bit of water under my desk. Like, I luckily put everything else up on top of my desk just to be sure. But there was just a tiny little bit, just a little bit of water all over the memory card, though. Memory card was ruined. So I lost the interview. But I have talked to both those gentlemen again. They are willing to meet back up and do it again. So it's very cool of them to do that. We're going to do that hopefully this weekend. But yeah, that's my latest podcast horror story to tell.
So I guess the card is unrecognizable.
Yeah, it won't work at all. Well, he dropped. And again, I'm assuming it was the cat, but I had it in a pretty safe spot. I'm thinking he literally walked up and did his cat thing and just whacked it. Because he knocked the camera off too, but the camera's fine. It was just the memory card. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
You son
Cats
of
are
a
pure evil.
bitch.
They really are. Yeah, the one thing, there's other things he could have messed with, but the one thing that he could control, the one thing that he could actually knock off my desk, he did. Asshole. So,
Have you seen the cartoon The Cat Came Back? It's a Canadian cartoon. It's made back in the, I want to say 80s. Funny. It's short. It's a cartoon short. Look it up. The Cat Came Back.
Let me check that out.
It's good stuff. It kind of describes cats. A lot of cats in a funny way. It's good stuff.
Well, guys, we will plan to do this. Maybe not next week. I'll probably have that Blues Warrior episode up, but maybe in 2 weeks we'll plan on doing another Mystery Hockey Theater. Sorry, everyone, this did not work out the way we wanted, but again, we've learned our lesson, I guess. So now I know how to test it. But anything else for you guys? Any parting shots before we close up the show?
I would just like to say that the tidbit about the show's name being maybe a no-no, Let's Go Blues Radio. It's because of the name Blues, right? Mm-hmm. Every single podcast that is out there of the Blues has the Blues name in it. You got Locked On Blues. You got, what do you got? You got Last Minute Blues Podcast, Blues Hockey Podcast.
Two guys, one cup or clear?
Blue Note Fan Report.
2 guys, 1 cup or clear. Blue Note Fan Report is no good either then. But yeah, 2 guys, 1 cup are in the clear.
The drop's fine.
The drop is fine. Don't they use the Blue Note logo though? No,
yes.
They don't, do they?
Maybe.
They
no.
Do? Maybe.
No, I don't think they do. I think you're right, actually. I don't think they do.
I was told by a a t-shirt manufacturer that I couldn't even use the colors blue and yellow on a shirt and it says St. Louis hockey. Isn't that stupid?
Yeah, that's
We didn't go
stupid.
with them. We didn't go with them.
No, that doesn't sound correct.
I know it doesn't. It's not right. Because it's implied. It's implied St. Louis Blues. I'm like, oh, come on.
All right. Well, again, we'll go and close up the show. So support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com and get 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockinthatidlife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Center Ice Brewery, which provides drinks brewed in our fair city and is available throughout the city and county at numerous grocery stores, liquor stores, and bars. Visit centericebrewery.com to find a vendor near you. That's centericebrewery.com. That will do it for episode 53 of season 10 of the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the show, as difficult as it was this episode. We appreciate all of you who tuned in. Cheers to all of you, and cheers to our podcasting audience as well. For Kurt Price and Bill Day, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Roar bacon.
Fuck you, Boston. Bunch of bitches.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Sport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available. A look at sports. I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win. They'll always get one more, no matter what the score. They are quite a hockey team, my friend.